There's a lot of talk about aging European population. Governments are taking steps to persuade young people to have more children. But if you want to have more kids, you'll need a car with more seats and ISOFIX mounting points, and there doesn't seem to be many of them right now. Enter the Opel Combo E. Is this the answer? The Opel Combo started off back in 1986 as the Kadett with a box behind the front seats. Then it was based on the Corsa, and finally Opel just called it quits and rebadged the Fiat Doblo. In 2018, soon after Opel was acquired by PSA, the Combo became a rebadged Peugeot Rifter alongside with the Citroen Berlingo and later on also Toyota ProAce City. Nobody bothered to be original here. This is a box to carry stuff or people. In this case, we're dealing with the extended wheelbase 7-people carrier called the XL, and also this one's electric.
The EV stuff is dictated by CO2 emissions limits. PSA is now part of the Stellantis group, and the Stellantis group decided passenger versions of commercial vehicles will be offered as EVs until PHEV versions are developed, probably along with the upcoming facelift. Obviously, Toyota is not a part of Stellantis, but it recently announced prices for the ProAce City Electric model as well.
The boot. The XL version without the 2 extra seats has 850 liters boot capacity, to the window line almost 2,700, to the roof with the seats in the second row folded. The car can carry around 550 kilograms depending on the trim level and can tow up to 750 kilograms.
Also, as this car can easily accommodate 7 adult men, make sure you weigh everyone or you may be exceeding the gross vehicle mass. And what about the third row? The additional seats are easy to remove and reinstall. They are light enough to take home with you if you don't have a garage to store them. With the seats folded upright, there is still around 70 to 75 centimeters to the sill, giving you around 500 liters. With the seats open, there is 35 to 40 centimeters. They can slide, which leaves you about 250 liters of space behind the third row. And if you want to carry something extra long, the front passenger seat folds, which gives you 305 centimeters from the dashboard to the tailgate.
You can access the third row from the second row as well as via the tailgate. This could be important if you have 3 smaller kids that need to travel in child seats, and then you don't have to remove the child seats to get 2 bigger kids in the third row.
Also, the back seat, made up of 3 independent chairs with ISOFIX mounting points, is an option, as is the third row of seats. Unfortunately, seats in the second row do not slide, so the child seats will have to fit abreast. However, in the third row, there is enough space, even for an adult, to slide forward and make more space for luggage. In the second row, legroom and headroom are not an issue.
There are no cup holders in the second row, perhaps with the exception of these here on the tables. There are 2 cup holders in the third row though. The seats fold flat without having to slide the front seat forward, at least in my driving position, something I had to do in the Citan, and it's not a matter of the extended wheelbase because all the extra space is in the cargo area.
Despite sliding doors, the Combo gets rear power windows, something VW wasn't able to achieve in the Caddy. However, when designing the van, PSA clearly wasn't thinking about electrification because the charging port is under the fuel door flap. When you're charging the car, the rear left door is automatically blocked and the passengers have to exit through the right door.
The Combo interior is finished in hard plastic, which I don't mind so much in the rear, where you may be transporting kids, cargo, and hard surfaces are easier to clean. But in the front, I wouldn't mind a bit more luxury, and there is none. You can order an optional center console with some storage, but I think it's better to have an open space because you can just put a bag down here. The seats have individual armrests, but without height adjustment. The driver's armrest is too low for me, and the passenger seat is just plain uncomfortable, which two other people of very different stature confirmed to me. This seat can be folded flat, and as a result, adjustment is limited. The cup holders are next to the A-pillars. The hole in the center console is for the optional grip control system controller. The door pockets are pretty deep, very deep in fact. You can stack many of these bottles. The glove box is just weirdly shaped. You can't fit anything substantial in there. This one is huge, very deep, and this one won't stay open, which pretty much renders it useless most of the time.
There is an additional shelf above the windscreen. If you go for the panoramic roof, there is also above head storage running along the middle of the roof, and an additional storage bin under the roof in the boot, just like in the Berlingo I reviewed a few years ago. The USB port is on the infotainment system display frame. Unless you listen to the radio, you don't need to interact with the infotainment system much. There is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. AC is still controlled with physical buttons and knobs. This test car gets manual AC, but automatic climate control is also available. Depending on the trim, you can get heated seats, heated windscreen, or a heated steering wheel. This car gets only the latter. And the Combo seems to be one of the few EVs which you can turn on with an old-fashioned key.
Let's talk electric powertrain, and there's not much to talk about really. There is only a 136 horsepower motor with a 50 kilowatt-hour battery. Theoretical range is 280 kilometers, with energy consumption around 22 kilowatt-hours per 100 kilometers. And on a warmer day, when you're gentle with the throttle, you may just achieve this result. But I'm driving the Combo E in the winter with sub-zero temperatures, especially at night, and the car is parked outside. This means realistic range is down to about 150-160 kilometers around the city, and even less on the motorway.
Charging to full from an ordinary home socket takes more than a day, around 5 hours from an 11 kilowatt wall box, and half an hour to 80% from a 100 kilowatt DC charger. By the way, in some markets, 7 kilowatt onboard charger is standard, and you have to pay extra to get the 11 kilowatt charger. Do you care how quick your electric panel van is? I'm sure you do, and I promise you this puppy is quicker from 0 to 100 km per hour than the 11.7 seconds Opel claims.
And how is it to drive? You can feel the extra mass on uneven surfaces. The Combo E XL can weigh up to 1900 kilograms depending on the trim. The car is surprisingly easy to maneuver, the steering is light, and the visibility is less bad than in the Citan and the Kangoo. Soundproofing is average. If you drive up to 100-150 kilometers a day and you have a place to charge the car, the Combo E could be your ideal family workhorse.
Just remember, price of the Opel Combo E started €38,850 for the standard version and €43,000 for the XL. With options, this test car costs about €44,000. For my reviews in English, I use German prices, and in Germany you can apply for up to €9,000 EV grant for cars costing less than €40,000 and €7,500 for cars costing above €40,000.
A question remains whether a family car is something you're going to be using only on short trips, and what about vacation? How do you cope with your larger family? What cars do you own, and are you considering an EV? Let me know in the comment section below.
If you like my sarcastic, down-to-earth and possibly mildly amusing car reviews, join me every Friday at 3 p.m. Central European Time, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video as it helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.